today's video, we're gonna go over some never before seen video testimonials from some married clients of mine. We're also gonna go over some testimonials from women who've pointed their husbands and partners at my material and it's drastically improved their sex life. And we're gonna go over some testimonials from guys whose sex life has gone from 0 to hero, thanks to my work. So let's get stuck into it. My name is Stirling Cooper. I'm an award-winning adult film star. I'm the world's best sex coach for men. And my job is to transform your sex life. So let's start with this testimonial from one of my customers who's a married guy. He's consumed a lot of my content over the last 6 months, and yeah, he sent this to you testimonial.
Hey Sterling, I just want to personally thank you for the products, reviews, advice, everything that you've given throughout the past 6 months. My life has been exponentially better in every capacity possible. From the way that my marriage has been in our sex life, I mean, I just made my wife squirt last night alone, to ramping up my testosterone levels and my performance in the gym. So I just want to thank you for changing my life for the better.
There's a lot of synergy and there's a lot of overlap with some of the things that I teach, right? Because you have to address sexual issues from like a foundational perspective first, rather than trying to put a band-aid over things, right? So this guy, he was a little bit out of shape, he wasn't eating right, his exercise was probably subpar and lacking, and that was impacting his sex life. Okay, cool. So we went in, we fixed the foundational elements first, everything started to improve, and then we started to apply the practical tips and techniques in the bedroom on top of that. And he got his wife to squirt for the first time. So hoorah. Now this testimonial comes from a 57-year-old woman. So let's see what she has to say. I found your page when you popped up on my Instagram feed. So interesting. Made my way to your YouTube channel and I love it. I'm 57 and I've been married for 30 years. If we can learn something now after all this time, this should be awesome content for younger ones. As a woman, I found it so interesting to understand some of the psychology behind why I like what I like. Now this is interesting for me because I've been getting a lot more testimonials and messages from women who are consuming my content. It very much resonates with exactly what Marnie's just said here. They're getting an understanding of the fundamental psychology behind why they enjoy certain things in the bedroom, why they enjoy certain things, certain attitudes and behaviors from their partner. That really helps the relationship, the long-term relationship, the marriage, when both parties are fully aware of what they respond well to, why they respond to it. So they're not going to be ashamed to maybe indulge in certain fantasies or indulge in certain sex acts with their partner. So they're more free to engage in sex with their partner, and they're more excited about engaging in sex with their partner. And so that marriage, that relationship is never going to be a dead bedroom, which fundamentally is the nail in the coffin for a lot of relationships. But this testimonial comes from an older gentleman who, if you couldn't tell by his accent, is also from Australia.
Good morning, guys. Just quick line, endorse a video program by Stirling Cooper. It changed my life. I come to the red pill space via the normal route. I'll tell you about money, muscle gain. Sterling, he tells you about how to perform in the bedroom and how to be a master at it. I can't recommend it highly enough. Keep the good work up, Sterling. Cheers, buddy.
There's the old saying of you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? Well, obviously you can. If I'm able to take a guy who's, in his 50s and transform the way that he interacts with women in the bedroom, transform the skill set, the mindset that he approaches sex from, obviously I can do the exact same thing for a guy of any age. Now this next testimonial is from another woman who slid in my DMs. Probably shouldn't say it like that. I just wanted to message you and thank you for all the work you do. Mine and my boyfriend's sex life went a little dry for various reasons. Then we were back to a place where we could really work on, but we struggled to communicate our needs. I'm not sure what my boyfriend thought, but it was like I was talking to a wall. I came across one of your videos one day and sent him your profile. We are having sex like we were when we first met. That's the honeymoon period. We can't keep our hands off each other. We are big fans. Where have you been all my life? Haha. Dead bedrooms can be the nail in the coffin for a relationship, and it's super important that intimacy and that passion remains. Obviously, it's normal for that kind of to decline a bit after the honeymoon period at the beginning. I think when both parties, both the man and the woman, this is equally responsible, but when they start to get lazy and get complacent, that's when things can start to decline. This is the correct way, by the way, for a woman to sort of help her man be better in the bedroom if things aren't as passionate as she wants them to be. If a woman directly tells her husband, hey, like, be more passionate in the bedroom, Well, now you're kind of bruising his ego a bit, and she's taking on the masculine role, so she kind of resents having to do that in the first place. So she's in a bit of a conundrum, right? I think this is why I'm seeing a lot more women resonating with my work, because they're able to see something, see me explain a concept, they understand it, they get it, they're like, oh yes, I want my boyfriend to do that to me. So they can then just send a video of mine to him, and he can start consuming my content, and he can get on the same page. Now, this next testimonial came from a customer who bought my How to Seal the Deal ebook. So if those of you who are not familiar with that book, that's basically my guide to getting laid on the first date. Guys can get on dates or get girls' attention, but they just seem to be spinning their wheels, not knowing how to turn those interactions into a romantic relationship, into a sexual relationship where they can actually go on to have a wife and kids. You're not going to be able to have a wife and kids and have a happy life if you can't cross that barrier between platonic friendship or, you know, just being a nice guy to her seeing you as a sexual suitor.
I just want to give a big shout out to Stirling Cooper. Recently bought the How to Seal the Deal ebook. Guys, honestly, for me it was a game changer. You know, I was struggling in a certain area, and in this ebook, he shares his knowledge and experience. It really does help you seal a deal. You know, you're putting a lot of time and effort in these chicks, you go on dates, and then up to get the finish line and you're not crossing. Honestly, so if you're thinking about it or on the fence about it, price exceeds value. And when that happens, I don't do these testimonials. This really was a game changer. Guys, go out there, buy this ebook, and get your ass laid. Thank you, Sterling.
Now, am I necessarily like endorsing guys to run around and sleep with a bunch of women, as many women as they want? Not necessarily. It's your life. You do what you want with it, right? Whether or not you take this advice and you run off and be a playboy, or whether or not you use this advice to just get yourself a wife, I don't care. It's your life. You live it how you want. Regardless of which direction you want to go, if women never see you as a sexual option, well, then you're going to be lonely, my friend. You're going to be by yourself for a long, long time until you figure that solution out. There's a lot of things mechanically, you could say, that kind of have to happen in a lot of, not all circumstances, but most circumstances, like on a date, that to make it go towards sex. And speaking of which, we have one more testimonial here from a customer called Mike. I have to say, Sterling is amazing and honestly changed my life. 6 months ago, I was basically a virgin. He helped me out through his ebook, Seal the Deal, and some tips along with his YouTube channel. Since that time, I hooked up with 15 plus chicks and made out with and had successful fun dates with even more. My life changed so radically, it's insane. I see a lot of talk nowadays online, having a go at the dating space, the red pill space, whatever you want to call it. A lot of these people who make these critiques are people who are in happy relationships. So it's a bit harder for them to put their feet in the shoes of the average man, because the average man ain't getting any attention from women. The average man ain't getting any sex, he ain't getting laid. When a guy has no sexual access or success at all in his life whatsoever, it's very easy for him to slip into a depressive state. It's very easy for him to get nihilistic. I think it's really fundamentally important to teach men how to understand women, how to navigate relationships and dating in the current world. This guy probably wants to have a family at some point, and if he can't find a partner, well, how the hell is that ever gonna happen? Anyway, I digress. Back to the testimony. And to top this off, after being with the first woman 5 months ago, I realized I have severe erectile dysfunction. So I wrote and asked for some help, and Sterling chimed in with some very helpful tips and pointed me towards his ebook for performance anxiety. In my case, it's actually not performance anxiety, but this helped me realize that the problem was indeed medical and not psychological. So I got tested and I have low testosterone. Working on this now, but still, I could never in a million years have dreamt of this kind of change in that time span. You're basically an experiment of one. If something is not working properly, anything like if you're depressed, if you're sad, if your sleep's off, if your boner isn't working, whatever it is, you have to go break down your life and your body, kind of like put it under a microscope and figure out, okay, exactly what are the inputs that might be screwing this up? So what do I have to change to get the desired outcome? If you can understand your body from that perspective, well, then you can fix any issue you ever have. And that's what I try to teach guys. I started in the pickup game 8 years ago, and even grinding hard and really working at it, I never really got anywhere. There's way too much fluff and useless, confusing crap in the industry. I would totally agree with that. Sterling makes it simple, concise, and applicable. And his YouTube tips work wonders. The one with kissing and pulling away first, it's like bloody magic. Works every single time. Without fail, it's nuts. Same goes for the tips on going down on her. I honestly don't know how to explain the difference this made in my life. So all I can say is thank you from the bottom of my heart, brother. Regards, Mike. Thank you, Mike, for writing this in. That's an amazing thing for me to hear. I love hearing that I've helped men in any way, shape, or form. It's really really overwhelming. So now that you've listened to me brag about my results with customers for so long, how about I give you a bunch of free advice? Well, check out this video right over here where we talk about what women really want in the bedroom.